Man, why wait? Why wait? We got some updates, so why wait? All right, let's see if this mic works out. I don't know how it looks. I look pretty old school. I look like a radio DJ. Daywalk, what's up, man? Daywalk, can you tell me I'm testing out this mic? Prince, I'm eating noodles for dinner. Hope it's some good noodles, man. Man, you guys caught me off guard. Usually I get a little couple minutes of just being in here. But thanks for joining. The mic is hooked up today, so it sounds good. Yeah, man, that's good. This mic is older than you, Daywalk. The mic is older than you. Not the arm that it's on, but the mixer is older than you too. So I'm bringing out the old Dusty's Unk status. Yeah. I'm mixing it up. So I think the last time I tried to mix some things up, I was a little overwhelmed. I think this time around we're a little more YouTube mature. Say it like that. Yeah, you just joined real quick. Thanks, man. Well, yeah, I'll give it a little bit of time, a couple minutes, see if we get some people in here. We could get started. Um, you know, I kind of go based on what the topic is. There's layers behind it. I don't know what angle to take yet, but I didn't turn on my light. Hold on. I think while we're here, I think the next big thing for me, like on the stream, I'm gonna start working on. I have to be mobile. I can't sit in the seat the whole time. So I do have a standing desk that I'm at, but I feel like the corded headset has to go. I'm a very reactive person. My one of my I shouldn't say one of my favorite. At the time he was one of my favorite professors. He was the first person that I ever met that every word he said, he spoke with his hands. So you'll be in class and you'll just be like this looking. You're not looking at you're not listening. You're like the words are mapped to every emotion that he uses, and is really his name is Richard Connolly. Richard Connolly, if you're out there, cool guy. He made a really cool impact on me at an interesting time in my life. So, all right, well let's get started. I'm gonna lower this music in the back. You guys, let me know. We are trying something with having a mic set up. I have the mic. It's I just pull stuff out of the closet and might as well try to use it and see where it goes. For me, when I play the streams back, I realize that these headsets, this at least the one that I have is not doing it for me. But I just want to feel more free. So I figured I could just get on this and we'll see where that goes. You do what sometimes? Maybe I missed that. Maybe I said something you reacted to and it's a little delayed. Oh, talking with the hands. No, when I'm telling you, Daywalk, he was like everything. And I thought to the sky, and the sky is in it, and every time. So I spent the whole, I would say, a year and a half watching him talk with his hands. It was pretty fun. But actually, the professor that he partnered with, even, I don't know if this is a funny story, but while we kicking it, let's kick it. So the professor that he partnered with, his name was Mr. Thiesing, and he was like an associate professor, and he was actually my favorite professor, probably my favorite professor of all time. But the problem was is that he didn't know my name, so he would read my name Daryl instead of Darnell, and it was pretty funny, but it's also not funny at the same time. Like, bro, your job is to, if you want to know who's here, and you can't spell my name, you can't read, but he was a cool guy nonetheless. So I had to live with it. So today, all of you who are in here, thanks for coming. Welcome. We get some of the same people in here sometimes, and we have a really good time. So there is a poll. Uh, let's see. 4 people have taken the poll. I'll just read it off as usual. Do you think the world is becoming more loving or more divided? So right now, with 75%, we have both at the same time. 25% depends on where you look, and 0% more loving and more divided. So no one's taking the bait on that. Um, are you asking me, Prince, what my favorite meal is? Just, I'll answer. I think you asked me that before. Oxtail is my favorite meal. My favorite drink is probably soursop juice. if you know what that is, soursop juice. So, I thought it would be pretty controversial to. Okay, let's back up. I didn't intentionally have a deep topic, but I was going through some deep feelings today. So it was hard for me to remove myself from what I was feeling versus just coming on here and being organic with what I want to talk about. And interestingly enough, last night's stream, if you were here, um, there was some interesting uh, energy because of a fight that almost, not really a fight, but back and forth that I got into at the gym, the basketball gym, and I was kind of using that as a basis for the stream. True story. Oh, that's my cuz. I don't know how you found us, but that's the number one cuz. Talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, today, every time somebody I really know that come in here, I get thrown off my joint a little bit. But as we mature, we'll get better at that. No worries. So yeah, oh yeah, the drop kick. Okay, so I'll tell it real quick. So on Friday night, I went to a basketball game. Really good friend of mine. You found me. I didn't tell anybody about the stream. So you clearly did find me. But Shadow Black in the chat. A fight. Who won? Yes, unfortunately, Shadow Black, you were not around for the fight. You were not around when I was telling the story about the fight. So I can give you. I guess we'll do a weekend wrap up, and then I'll get into today's topic. With Shadow Black, you're probably one of the people you might even want to call. You might want to call me on Discord. I'll punch you in. So Daywalk said the mic sounds good. I just need confirmation. I'm actually, last night when I showed this mic, I wasn't actually on the mic. The mic wasn't plugged into anything. And about 40 minutes before the stream, I said, you know what? I'm gonna plug this mofo in. So I plugged it in, plugged the mixer in, and just see if I could push through and get it going. So I realized I do got some stuff going on here that's kind of powerful. So anyway, hopefully the mic sounds better. Man, Shadow Black talking in the chat. I'm just tell my weekend. You guys tell me if you guys had a good weekend. I haven't seen some of you. I've been on here. We've been streaming every day. On the weekend, I did 2 a days, one outside, one inside, and here we are. So on Friday night, I went to an old teammate. He coaches, and he in Section 1 for New York State. I went to his basketball game, and I thought it was just gonna be like, I was just popping up. I didn't talk to him. This stuff is all in the papers. It's all around. If you have any kind of source, you will find what's going on. And I'm not super into basketball. Like, I don't follow it like that, but I try to follow him, especially something big like that. So I show up at the game, and I'm thinking, I don't know, stupid me, I'm going to be the only one there. It turns out I knew like a whole section. And microphone sounds good. That's what I'm talking about, man. We made it, man. I didn't mean to play this today, but thank you, Shout Out Black. So it turns out I knew a whole section at the game. So I'm talking up to maybe 30 people, right? I haven't seen any of these people in a very long time. So it was just an interesting energy, the way that they responded to me. It was all love. So I was on this like love high of people who identify with me prior to where I'm at, prior to me going outside and chasing chickens all day, right? Chasing my children. It was a good feeling. It was good. It was like a blast from the past. And so Sunday, I didn't realize that, we streamed that night. I came on, I spoke about it. It was a great stream. It probably was my best stream. There was plenty of interaction. There was some new people in the chat. Hopefully CJ shows up. I'll let you know if CJ shows up, because he also came last night. It was a great stream. So then Sunday I went to basketball in the morning. Turns out it was daylight savings time. We got off the stream at what I thought was 2 a.m. Turns out it was 3 a.m. And I had to wake up for basketball. And be at basketball, you got to get there like 8:30, even though it's supposed to start at 9. If you don't get there at 8:30, you're not going to be playing the first game. So I made it to basketball. I'm still on that high, that energy high. And a game happened, and I'm not playing like myself at my age. I'm playing like I don't have an age. Like, I'm just out there really working hard, enjoying myself. And I ended up diving for a ball, which is normal for me. And when I dove for the ball, one of the better players to everyone, everyone else, and I have a name for him. His name is Bart. Not a real name, but I just don't feel like disclosing. And Bart is a funny character, not just from The Simpsons, but I get it from Blazing Saddles, one of my favorite movies. So Sheriff Bart. So Sheriff Bart said some choice words to me when I dove for the ball, and I immediately popped up. Again, I'm still on this high as if I'm a real basketball player. Like, I'm really in college or something, and you're not going to talk to me like that. Like, because my team is behind, even though nobody's there, my team is behind me, right? So I pop up, you ain't going to say that to me. And I didn't have a problem with him, but I don't like the guy, right? We've had some choice words before. As a man, we got to respect each other's space, whatever. So we play, we play or whatever, play ball, but I don't really like the guy. So I just told him, like, bro, what you said, that, you can't say that to me. So we going back and forth. That Webster Park mindset. Absolutely. Right. But even more so like Webster Park is one thing, but then even more so like in college, I feel like if you're like in the off season and you playing with other people, there's definitely a unified approach to what's allowed and what's not allowed. What he said was not allowed. So me being a great defensive player, he was acting like I was trying to hurt him. And you don't want that rep out there that you trying to hurt people. When you play men's league is about going home to your family and going to work the next day. Nothing else. It's a social that you still have to go to your family, not hurt. And that makes it successful. If you go home hurt, not successful. If you got to hear from the wife, the girlfriend, if the kids got to be sad, if you got to do rearranging for the week, you play on Sunday, you got to rearrange Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and you losing money. That's not what that's for, right? So I really didn't like what he said. So I'm going at him. And the thing is, I don't know the guys that I play with. It's like 30, 35 guys in there. I don't know them like that because I'm still new to the area. Like 8 years ain't gonna do it. And you could minus the COVID years. So 8 years ain't gonna do it, right? So they don't know that I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep playing and keep talking. This is not gonna turn into a one-on-one. You put the money up, you trash. This don't have nothing to do with skills at this point. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. So I'm talking, and I realize that my team, and let me go. I hope you guys are still hanging around with this. This is story time before we get into it. Hopefully what we get into it takes it to another level, but it may not, right? Whatever. So I also play with the town judge. Right? So, and the sheriff of the town. So it's not an environment where like we're going to take it to hands, but it gets heated in there. But literally the judge. So if I get locked up, the same person who's on the other team right now, the judge is going to be the one to see me, when it all goes down. Hopefully he can get me out of there early. So it's not going down like that. And I have a pretty good reputation of just being a quality person, quality citizen. And so I'm going back and forth, but my team's energy, we were winning when it started. Now we're losing. And we end up losing the game. And I had to apologize to my team because I'm like, clearly you guys didn't understand. This is only going to make me work harder. Why you're not working hard anymore? So now that person usually turns into, first he's screaming at that person, going back and forth. Then he's screaming at his team. So before I even got to that point, I just shut it down. Because I said, once this game is over, what did I say last night? I'm a dart to Bart. I darted to Sheriff Bart. Pew, hit him with the pew. We gonna size up. So I sit right next to him. I said, bro, you said what you said, and you can't say that to me. And then he started backtracking and said, hey, I didn't say you was trying to hurt. No, you clearly said that. So I didn't need to get confirmation, but I just told him, like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm old enough to understand that some people just don't mix. Some personalities just don't mix with each other, right? And it's easy to conclude. Me and him may be best friends in another lifetime, but in this one right here, it's not happening. It's not happening. I've seen you gaslight others. I've seen you act ignorant when you do it. We have a different thought on what manhood is. So that was last night, that was yesterday. We had a stream last night. It was a quality stream. I told this story. We got through it. The stream was called Built Different. I was really just trying to make the point that some people are able to, do what they got to do. They don't really let a lot of things bother them. And if I'm early 40s and I'm still diving on the court, as long as I'm making it home to my family, I'm built different. You guys can't do what I do, right? Not you in the chat, but the guys that I'm playing with. Clearly, if you're looking at me and you don't understand how I'm able to get it done, I'm built different. So that was it. I was talking about you guys, like the poll, people who engage. If I could hear you guys' voices, I want to know what you would think about being built different. All right, so we got 2 more poll votes. Let's read it off again. Do you think the world is becoming more loving or more divided? Okay, so with 67%, both at the same time. I'm going to need somebody since most of the votes today. I'm gonna need some defense to that, like a one-liner to get me started in here. More loving has 0%, more dividing 17%, and depends on where you look 17%. So I think it's a cool poll. So I'll just tell you how I got to this topic tonight, even though I am trying to not be politically driven. I'm not trying to bait the algorithm. I watched a couple videos tonight, and they kind of got me like, they got me a little off, and not off from like I can't function, just things that you don't usually have to think about. So I'll show. I don't know if I want to play it, but if you read that, thank you, true story. More divided. No one on the same page. People got to be selfish nowadays and take care of theirs. No love lost, but just the way the world working. So I actually wanted to do a second poll. That whole point that you made is really the basis of why I would do a second poll. Yeah, I'll follow back on that point. But if you read this, it says girl brain dead after bullying. So I'm not gonna. I get no value from making people feel sad. If you want to go find this video, please go do so. But this is kind of what got me in the mood that I'm in right now. The girl moved. I believe this is in Atlanta. It's definitely in the South. And yeah, it was in Atlanta. And the girl moved from it said Fox Atlanta. That means it was Atlanta. Do math. So the girl moved from one place to another. She switched schools in the middle of the semester. So I'm guessing January. You can say my name, cuz. No one know me. Well, do you know who Shadow Black is? Just check out the icon, the avatar. I don't say his name either. Nah, it's funny. Yeah, so the girl switched schools mid semester. So I don't have anyone here younger than high school age. Daywalk, shout out to you if you're still in here. A song that puts me in a better mindset is Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Prince, you still saying hi, man? Prince I don't know what you be doing on the phone, man. So the girl moved from one school to another. So if you think back to when you were in like high school, maybe even college, and even junior high school, if a new kid came into the school, you've already spent all of your energy and resources positioning, yourself. I don't see any females in here, so let's just speak for the men. Young men, boys. There's so much jockeying. Daxton, what's up, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream, Daxton. There's so much jockeying for positioning. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? What I mean by that? Because I'm saying it from the unk status, or I'm not trying to be OG. I'm really not trying to be unk, but I'm saying it in a way that many generations could understand it, because I could explain it without using, some slang. But there's a jockeying, right? Boys position. Hope you feel better, Daxton. Boys position from an early age. I was dealing with an issue with my son in elementary school a couple years ago. He started behaving bad in class, and no one knew why. And it turned out that he was not being treated fairly in recess, and it had to do with soccer, and that spilled over into the classroom, and no one knew it, no one understood it because it didn't make sense. And then I did my investigation, tracked it down, and was like, this happens at the same time every day. What happens at that time? And me being a guy who played many sports, not soccer, it's really hard. It has been hard to offer that to my child. But where we live, soccer's a big deal. I'm not gonna get into why I think so, but soccer's a big deal. Kids start getting into soccer really early. So if you're 7, 8 years old and you just start for the first time, you got a lot to overcome. So I just reasoned with this story because I could understand somebody who goes to a new school, and just to say what happened, she experienced bullying when she went to the new school mid-year. And the bullying, her parents were engaged. Her father at some point showed up to the school, tried to get the school in the right direction and stop the bullying. And apparently one day, within the last few days, fight broke out. She falls on the pavement. She gets back up, but then she falls again when she leaves the fight, and she ends up in a coma. No one said anything about weapons, just a fight. Just a fight that we've all seen. We've seen fights. And she ends up in a coma. Soon after, she's pronounced dead. Brain dead. I think the girl is, it says the girl. Let's put it full mass again. 12 years old. A 12-year-old girl. So I kind of went into, my bag. Like, we're all overwhelmed with the jobs, the economy, the politics, now the war. Everyone's talking about some facet of that. The people that I watch are talking about, go get prepared, be prepared, damn near shelter in place, right? All these skills that I've been picking up for years, and I do believe in, and I believe some of what they're saying, but a big part of it is the gaslighting people to think about things and to go rush out there, and it kind of further divides people because, and I'm a good person to know this, when you speak so far away from your audience and your surroundings and they don't understand you, you become the one that is different or wrong, because people are gonna bond with each other. So it's just so much going on, and I started thinking about, there's a song that came in my head, Where's the Love? And I realized that growing up, I've had so much reflections. Thanks for all the love in the chat, by the way. I see the hearts going off. There's music has always brought me peace and love. What did what's old boy on Soul Train? I'll have to put this full mass. Actually, Drewski just did a skit of him that, the skit was funny, but Don Cornelius, yeah, that's right. So Don Cornelius is famous, the way he ends Soul Train. So if you were a Soul Train watcher, you guys know Soul Train? So his famous words were love, peace, and soul, right? So there's a I I don't like to do the whole well in my day, back in my day, but the reality is while you had chaos going on in different forms, there was always music and entertainment to come back to help enrich the love, right? There's whole movements that are based on love. So I just don't know. I don't know where we are. I couldn't imagine how do you recreate that? And it just makes me really look at the technology and our choices today and not understand that we can't see this basic need, right? You what the hell is going on tonight? Yo, did I miss something? Youth. Oh my god. I gotta take a drink. Hold on. I need I need to spread the love the old school way. Hold on. First true story. Hold on. It's the Ripper. Yeah, no, but thanks for joining, youth. Um you're free to call in if you want. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I watched something earlier. So True Story is going to tell us why attention spans are shorter. No one pays attention. There's no such thing as the bigger picture anymore. That's been dead. Uh, youth thinks he has to correct as if I can't read. We we in the spot. Spit out. Yeah, no, thanks for joining, guys. And look, don't feel like you have to hang around. We've been doing good. We've been building, we've been growing. A lot of learning from my part. And I've been growing my confidence on here, which is good. We had a poll some time ago about, what makes a really good streamer, and confidence was one of the big things. So you guys actually came when I set up the mic for the first time. So if you're hearing good quality sound, you're on day one of this mic. So we work on a 1% improvement every day that I come on stream, and that's it. And we'll get where we need to go. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are taken to the topic. So now to address, or just to give my feedback to what True Story is saying, and he said something before. The other comment was about being more divided. No one's on the same page. So let me ask you this, True Story, or anyone else. Do you guys really bang with your neighbors? Like when we are allowed to say out loud that we feel, things are more divided, or I'll just use your words, people got to be selfish nowadays. So I was outside earlier, and where I live, it's everyone kind of has like a plot, and you're not really close enough. If I don't ever want to speak to my neighbors, I really don't have to. I could just do the dry wave, but I don't have to hear their voice or anything, right? And one of my neighbors, the newest one, he's I think he's from Argentina. And his son, when they moved here, his son was in high school, and I watched, his son, it seemed like he wasn't going to go the college route. I'll just put it nicely. And you don't have to, but that was just my inclination. And his son ended up in the military. And today I was thinking about being a neighbor and what he might be going through right now, right? What he might be going through, and what can I do to just tell him that I've actually thought of him, right? He's a cool guy. He has a big ass dog. It's a Cane Corso, the Argentinian pit bull. That thing is terrible. It is terrifying, terrifying, and it's pretty though. And he had the nerve to tell me. He had the nerve. Hope he didn't hear that comment. No, I see you, Daywalk too. Yes, love my neighbor. Daywalk's taking us to the Bible. Because in the Bible it says love your neighbor. I mean, Daywalk, what if in the Bible there's a part that says be careful of your neighbor? You know? So, yeah, I don't know, true story about buying freedom. I don't know about that, man. Taxes, man. But yeah, I feel like I wish if I lived in the world, say 30 years ago, it would be easy for me to offer him some love, to just say, yo, I'm thinking of, you and your family, and I would have to go out my way, because I can't, first of all, our driveways are not adjacent. He's kind of like to the back side of me. Yeah, I know youth is gonna love that. Shadow Black, where'd you go, man? So True Story says, you brought your freedom. It's a human instinct to interact. Imagine the people on top of each other in a building. Oh, imagine? Because I don't know what that's like. Too much interaction makes people uncomfortable nowadays. Where when we came, yeah. Well, I don't know if it. So I don't know that it wasn't uncomfortable then. It's just what you have. It's just what you. Yeah. Youth is talking about the backside pause thing. I had this weekend. I promised not to say pause, so it was some reckless moments. But yeah, so that's who I am. So I was having a moment earlier. It was nice outside. If you guys are anywhere in the Northeast, it's clearly the warmest day of the year so far. It felt hot, because you go from cold to hot. And I was outside and I was just like, man, I just hope. Yeah, clearly you know who Shadow Black is. So I was just hoping his family was at peace, but I was kind of sad that it's hard to relay that kind of peace until something bad happens, right? It's like something bad happens, and then it's too late to show, hey, I should be able to just go knock on his door, But it's an interesting world. But I think we also have the power to change our surroundings. I don't really play into, just be yourself. I think people are struggling with mental health issues, and they put up a wall, and the wall's easy, and the phone helps. Another frequent viewer we have, Ubiwa Media, I know him in real life as well, and he talks about the things that make content like good content, and I'm trying to break the rule. He says 1 is the thirst trap, 2 is the gaslighting culture, and 3 is reaffirmation. So when I make content, even right now, I have none of those in mind. I'm not thirst trapping. Clearly, I don't even know what I would thirst trap. They might leave me on the corner if I even tried. I'm not trying to gaslight anybody. I've had political comments in the chat. Someone asked me on Saturday if I thought, and hear me, someone came in the chat on Saturday in the afternoon while I was outside, not choking my chicken, pause, but working with my chickens. And they asked me if I thought trans rights were human rights. So I bring that up to say they tried to gaslight me into having a conversation or spewing hate, opposite of love, in the internet. uh, yo, I was just making light of the situation. Mick the Pick, what's good? Mick the Pick, man. Meet some people in the chat. We got some real family in here. They even told me to name drop, and I refused. So you'll figure it out. But yeah, we're just hanging out. We're talking about. I guess we're talking about love. I was just building on how I got to tonight's topic, and it was something sad that came around. And yeah, I mean, so we've been on now for 41 minutes. You guys have definitely held your side of the deal when it comes to the stream. So let's get into the second part of it. And before I get into the second part, we're gonna show some love real quick. In fact, I'm gonna have to take a little break because since I don't have a little break as in 40 seconds, I don't have a lot of people that I usually know come in. So I just wanted to flex. I wanted to show you, what the things that be on here and the effort that I've been given to this and what it has turned into. So you guys, what I'm saying, get to see some stuff. So here you go. I'll be right back. I'm actually going to be here in the chat, but you'll see. Today, for the 2030 Winter Olympics. Let's do it.
But here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Ha-ha, we are warm and we have our heart's desire. For here's for good fellows and the beechwood and the bellows, and the cup is at the lip in the pleasant fellowship. Oh, here by the fire we defy frost and storm. Ha-ha, we are warm and we have our heart's desire. For here's for good fellows and the beechwood and the bellows.
I know my mic was out. It happens. I was just saying I had to come back once I seen something about disability in the chat. Yeah, you guys are crazy. Oh, so the Knicks are playing. You know what? I'm gonna do a little thirst trap here. Hold on. Let me get the. Okay. So we got a little New York basketball going on. Still can't hear me? Oh, Shadow Black is he's delayed. You always do that delayed thing, man. Do you guys hear me now? I'll wait for you, brother. I think you can hear me now because I see my mic is good to go. So the second part of today's stream, Not that I officially have parts, but after I saw that video, I kind of went into this like space about like love and love music. And I mean, I couldn't help but just think of like having children and being young. And well, those are two separate thoughts because I'm not young, but having children that are young, but then seeing my life through their eyes and a lot of the pain that comes from like being divided. And then I realized that it was March 9th. So I'm gonna try my hardest to avoid a copyright claim or strike. But yeah, if you know, you know, man. So as a New Yorker, man, today is March 9th, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's really hard not to go back and reflect about what was. Oh man. I'm getting outed on the stream. So yeah, man, Biggie Smalls. So I tasked Shadow Black to call in. Uh, that's definitely his boy. But as like a New Yorker, I think that it just holds like a different meaning. And just to add to like all the love, it's sad that you had to have moments like that to kind of like get back to the love, like what that kind of represents and how people celebrate it. It's just all love. That soundbite is taken from my favorite song, my favorite song that show respect for Biggs. It's a hard one to listen to, but we'll always love Big Papa by the Lox. It's probably, I think it's top tier. I mean, yeah, you could go with Diddy Dancing in the Rain, but yeah, nah, I'll stay with this one. So I just wanted to give love, like I said. You guys wanted to say something nice in the chat, whatever. You want to call in? That's what it is. In those years, man, we had, there was like, you have all these young people, like, to think of the age that Pac and Big died. Oh, we have a thug English teacher in the chat, apparently. Yeah, so to think of the age that these people passed away, and to think the age that I am now is like kind of crazy. But yeah, man, that was a hard one. So I just think we need to figure out this whole love thing, and I don't know how music gets us there. I really don't, and I don't know like what can get us there at this point. Like, politics that's scrap. We're not gonna see eye to eye. We're not gonna look across the aisle. That's just not working. You have the Me Too movement. So you have like a gender divide, right? Again, you have two sides that don't listen to each other. You have the LGBTQ movement. They've sided. Two sides that don't listen to each other. So I just don't see what people are trying to really be together, and it's just so confusing. We've had everything going on with ICE, and I wouldn't say illegal. I don't get into, again, it's not to be political, but it just shows like the divide, and I just don't see how love comes through any of that stuff. So you real chuckly tonight, bro. It's your first stream. You gotta get to the back, brother. I laugh and have fun on here. So it's hard. It's actually hard to run the stream. Just to give you a little bit of background, a lot of times you be on here, you be doing your thing, and then it'll show on my side no people are in here, or there's some technical issues. So I try to just be as relaxed as possible. When I did start, I think my first week, I had a drink coming on. Now I just drink, a little port. But yeah, it's hard, man. So that was it. I didn't really have too much. We're coming up on 51 minutes. True Story said it's because news travels so fast, there's no time to digest. So people go with the first thing they hear or see. I mean that's one part of it, but I've never given up on vetting sources and vetting information. So I don't know. But I don't use myself as a general basis for how people deal with information. When, as a media student, I was studying about what was going to happen to news media 25 years ago, right? Well, yeah, 25 years ago. I was studying about what was going to happen to news media because it already started to happen. So people don't have to choose to go that route. So just like you said earlier with the cell phones, and you don't have to use the phone that way. These are choices, right? So we just have to start being better for ourselves and teaching each other different ways. We can't accept that, the phones are bad, but then we have mental health problems because of the phones, or we don't see people that are right in our face because of the phones, and then we just say it's because of the phones. I don't think we got nobody to blame but ourselves at that point. Yes, is there a part of the phone that the psychology is so good to make you, to reel you in, to keep you, there and pinned to it? Sure. But you have the ability to take a step back. I did a detox. Prior to me, I don't know if you know True Story, but this is my 35th straight day streaming. And prior to me getting to start the stream, I did a detox of the internet, of social media. I had a hypothesis about what was going on. I felt like social media apps and the algorithm was making decisions for me the way they were constructed. So you want to be the driver of your own story, of what you're reaching for, the content you want to watch. What if you're not? 35 more streams. Let's go. You guys think I could do it, man? You think I could get Mick the Pick is saying 35 more. It's going to put me at 70. Simple math there. Yeah, it's a I wouldn't say it's a dream though. It's one of these like accidental things. I again, just to tell you guys, if you haven't heard me say how I got here, I did post content in the past. A lot of that content was agriculture based. It was very specific. The reason why is because I follow over 100 people in agriculture. Oh, Mike has a book drop in the chat. It's called Simple Math with AJ. I like that. I also know Mick the Pick. I said, oh my God, you guys got me now. Well, no, see, your True Story, you got to show back up here because you're very finite in your terms. That's not the definition of algorithm. The algorithm is just a pattern of doing things where the input to get to a desired output, right? If I were to pick up a Rubik's Cube and I could solve a Rubik's Cube, I actually could solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm doing an algorithm to solve it. So that's another problem that we have. We take you can do it. We take words and we internetify it, right? Now, hear me when I say this. I know I haven't been looking directly at the camera. Hear me when I say this. We internetify words. Searching for something on the internet means Googling it, right? I'm guilty now of working with ChatGPT, and I just say chat, like for short, as if chat didn't already exist. And if chat didn't exist outside of the internet. So I think if you realize and you be careful with what you just said, it may help us to not forget and explore the deeper definition behind some of these things. An algorithm is not just how to get content to people. That's not what that is. But yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. But we have choices. Do you guys not hold yourself accountable? What needs to change? What can you change to not feel the way we feel? You know? So, like I said, I did a detox. And I didn't do a detox so that I could prepare to come and be a streamer. I did a detox because I didn't like the habits that I was growing, and it felt off. It felt like someone else. Oh, here we go. Watching you in True Story. He don't have an E on his joint. You can't say the whole true. Take me back to 85. Gifted people speak a different language. Yeah, well, Martin Luther King, he speaks the language of the people. So sometimes when you speak in cryptic, it's not always good. You got to keep that head up for real. Mick the Pick says, yeah, I think we have choices. Like, so let's talk about, since you guys are still hanging out, and I like reading into what people are saying, even though it's not, you can't really pull the emotion out of text messages and chat messages. But I know some of you personally, and there's a hunch that I have about music where maybe not the children of today, maybe not the teens of today, but the babies of today will actually turn back to instruments. What do you guys think about that? I feel like the babies of today will have no choice but to turn back to instruments. Like in the masses. So when True Story said that, I didn't read it because I didn't understand what he was saying. I thought he was saying Ebro, like like I 97, like Ebro. Oh man, I'm stupid. So what do you think about that? So Mick the Pick actually plays guitar. I think that we children of today. Oh man, you guys gonna make me go smoke something now after the chat changes with that. Don't send this text. Don't send this text out. We could have did this on another stream. You going Denroy F triggering. So just to back you up, Denroy F, we were talking about love. We were talking about the love that's lost in the world today, and there's a lot of things that were brought up. True Story has been guiding us on his findings and conclusions as to why a lot of that is, which are all valid points. Youth in the chat is making sure that everyone spells things correctly. And I'm just holding on. I'm just trying to make sure that the stream goes well. Guys, don't, if you are in the chat and you're in the back and you're still hanging out, feel free to dump something in there. I see it all. I'll respond to it all. So Make the Pick says, now I can see it, but what about AI music? Do you think that'll be big? So that's exactly what I'm saying. The reason why children are going to be forced to play instruments is because AI can't play instruments. Think about it. I didn't say make music. I said play instruments. I never thought I would see Family for Life reunion in my chat, but go for it. So I don't think it's in the interest of AI to play instruments, because everything about AI is to monetarily impact us. Playing instruments does not have a monetary component until you decide to monetize it. There's no point. You tell me one AI-based technology that is not there for monetization, that is not there for industry and business. They're not trying to fix, oh, we're just going to fix something in the world. We're going to make people feel better about themselves. No, that's not what it's there for. It's for money. Make the Pick says it's crazy because you have acts like Hatsune. Sorry, I don't know who this is, but I'm going to try. Miku, which is a hologram that are huge. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole novelty thing. They did the Tupac hologram. That's just entertainment. Like, so we have to separate the same way that me personally, I separate education from academia. Education and academia are not the same thing, right? The people that I grew up with, the older people, because some of the people I grew up with are actually in the chat right now, so they're here to hold me accountable and for me to be responsible. That's why I'm having a drink. But the people, if I would go to the park, the wino that was on the corner, educated. It may not be the academic education. So I think when you realize what these things are here for, that's like saying the World Cup and the Olympics, right? Those are industries. That is money. That is a money-driven entity. The Olympics Commission is a private entity. It's a private entity to make money. So yeah, we're gonna hologram. Entertainment comes down to, if you will pay for it, we will do it. We can make, come on, let's dream for a second. I'm a dream. We can make my stream, and hear what I'm saying. We can make my stream incredible to the point where I'm getting, hundreds of thousands of views on a stream, right? Like IShowSpeed, right? And he, that number's crazy. But why I want to go down this road is entertainment. Renting a stadium is really based on, it's just a monetary investment. They will rent the stadium for you if you pay the amount of money that you need to pay. Yo, Tiger Wood, what's up, man? I ain't stroking nothing, I'll tell you that. But you call me, you know what I'm saying? What's up, buddy? You got jokes, Christopher Webb? You're welcome here with the jokes. I like them. So we were talking about, to me, entertainment is entertainment. So that implies that we're going to God's Gift. What up, D? What up, God's Gift? I feel like I know who God's Gift is. Hold on. Okay, I don't see nothing on the channel. Well, welcome to the chat. So we was talking about love. It's kind of distant from where we started. That's okay. But if you guys keep talking, we'll make something of it. Football stadiums empty. Yeah, don't say no revenue though. They changed their revenue model. It has to be revenue if the players are getting paid. Oh, it's just Bogues. Shit. You fucking God. Yo, this stream ain't gonna be on here too much longer. That's I for whatever reason I remember that God's gifting. I kind of feel like I remember I've seen that before. What's up, Bogues? But yeah, we're talking entertainment. Like it's in the end, it's about making that bag. All right, so if you play ball, right? If you play ball, there's a few guys in the chat that used to play ball. So when I got home from just now I'm just home D, right? Teammates will call you up, yo, you want to play in this league? All right, so we go play in this league. So I'm playing in the Lawyers League, right? Sounds amazing. All it means is lawyers who got money, who want to get together, and you put up some bread, and for them it's almost like what was that? Was that Trading Places? It's almost like a bet between the lawyers for bragging rights to see if they can just get the talent and win. He said, let's talk about Fantasy League. Oh, not this stream, mother. So basically I'm playing ball and I'm playing in this Lawyers League, so I ain't paying no money. So that's the flip side. Because if you're a lawyer, you got bread, right? This is an investment. So where do you guys think that the championship game is going to be held? For me, the no-name person who ain't going nowhere and no one's going to care about. Where you think the championship is going to be at? Well, I'll get there, Bogues. Where you think the championship is going to be at? It's the Lawyers League. So I'm telling you, it's somewhere. Somebody throw it in the chat. We from New York. Where's the championship going to be? All my New York heads out there. Okay. So, of course, like clockwork, Denroy F doesn't say anything, but he answers questions when nobody knows the answer. So that's shout outs to you, Denroy F. This is exactly why. Before we go any further, let's be friends. All right, so Denroy F, I'm gonna need you to change your name so that you kind of disguise who you are. But yeah, so the championship game is at MSG. Granted, some of the guys may have played some overseas ball, but if they playing with me, they suck. That's how I see it. If you playing with me, you suck. You're not at that level because I'm not going to that level. I don't have a need to go to that level. I've exercised what I needed to, and I got what I needed to get out of it, right? So you playing with me, you suck. But the championship game's at MSG. It don't matter if no one comes. It's about money. MSG rents out Madison Square Garden, the court, for $1,000 an hour. Did you guys know that? To play pickup. Did you guys know that? Queen Center. No, we going to MSG, brother. Did you know that MSG rents out the Garden for $1,000 an hour? We can get, and it's always said, let's go get 10 guys, and they all pay $100 each, and we go on the court, and I'm sure the cameras is gonna be out. Bo's gonna be clapping mad hard. I had to get you, Bogues. I had to. If you still here. But $1,000 an hour. No, so the point is, yes, you're right, Bogues. That's not bad. But when you break it down, when we were growing up, MSG seems like something that's not reachable, right? It just seems, it's the Knicks. It's where the Knicks play. But that's not the way that the world works. It's all based on money. So money, that's why. Yo, Todd, excuse me, youth, don't stick up for Bogues right now. That's crazy. Don't do that. That was funny. So it's all about money. That's all it's about. This is all about money. That's why we watch the Jake Paul fights, and you see who's now, I don't even know, sponsoring the fight. These people don't even have a cultural connection to what we're watching. Years ago, they got the big golf tournament and they paying people hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't need a cultural connection. Why? Because they have money. So AI and where things are going on the internet is about money. The babies, though, they don't have a shot because you can't podcast from MSG when if you got money. These stadiums are rentable. This is how it works. It's not about how big your name is. If you could rent the stadium, you can rent the stadium. It's a money play. Yeah, I mean, I can't say it no other way. The Barclays Center ain't even gonna be $1,000 an hour. That place is trash. I shouldn't say that. Okay. But yeah, I'm hinting on the fact that and guys, like the stream, definitely my peoples, you don't have to show up every time, but I did enjoy you guys, and I am enjoying you guys that came in. My reasoning for being on here, and I'll read that in a second, true story. My reason, he said, nah, you bugging. Oh, he must be with the New Jersey Nets. But anyway, my reasoning for being on here is to spread positive energy for people who swipe into these streams. We're in a battle. There was a choice that I had to make to either stay on the sidelines and and just complain about all the negative energy that's on here, or come in here, speak positivity, not gaslight people, and really just run a quality stream. Okay, so let me catch back up on this chat. True Story says, going to the Ravens Stadium for fantasy football draft. Dude, are you serious? It's just the shmoney. 1,000 for 2 hours and complimentary everything for 10 people. See? It's just this money. It's just money. That's all. They lied to us, man. When I had that kind of money to throw away, I would have loved to do something like that. And it's always been that way. It's just money. That's all. So the correlation is, he said, I'll send you the video. It's worth it. Well, when you speak worth, that's based on your experience, right? When you go to the, Madison Square Garden and you watch the Knicks, was it worth it? That's to the person, right? The person may think that that's worth it. I can't tell you what's worth it, and you can't tell me what's worth it. And I can't even judge you on, but if you think that was worth spending your money, that's fine. I think I'm more intrigued at the fact that these things don't, like, what can't you, the church won't rent you a place if it doesn't align with what they want to do, right? Like, it ain't a money thing. But MSG, and like you just said, it was the Ravens Stadium, it's for sale. Hey, Bogues, I'm all in, bro. I'm all in. I'm glad you know now. Yeah, I'm glad you know now. But it's not, especially now we grown men, and that money ain't hard to come by. I'm not gonna miss that money. I'll enjoy. I would think that that's worth it as well. Like True Story is saying. See how Bogues try to come in here and gaslight the church is stealing the money. My point about the church was they have they have an agenda. They have their, when I say morals, I'm saying it's relative to how they see it. If something doesn't align with them, they kind of don't do it. I don't think the industry has the same purpose. Something as big as Madison Square Garden, James Dolan, yet I can rent it out. Me and me and the Felony Five, we could go rent it out. Cause I'm bringing the Felony Five. I'm not going to lose in the garden. You got to get these stories. You know, we at the age where the stories matter to the kids. I hope you guys saved all your old photos of when you look really good playing basketball, because your kids probably never seen you play. And not for nothing, that's one of the reasons why I still somewhat stay active and play ball, because even though they don't watch me because they don't care to, they are aware that it's something that I do, not something that I did. So I thought I was still going to be dunking. I probably could dunk if I got into it. And they could see me dunk and it could mean something. Who got the tapes? I'll be on stream on Sunday, Bogues. I'll be on stream. If you, since I'm gonna be attracting all these people, I'll be on stream playing at men's league or men's pickup on Sunday at apparently 8:30. Who got the tapes? Bogues wants the proof. He wants the proof. But no, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. The way the stream usually works, we have a lot of, I come and bring some topics. They may make sense, they may not. Oh no, here we go. I'm sorry for everyone else. I would never delete a comment, but if I would delete one, it would be the one that youth just put in there. Oh man. Well, how's everyone else doing? So are you guys willing to work on the love part? You know, are you willing to look at it different? Did he take your tapes? Is that what you saying? We got a case here? Man, you dropping names. But anyway, yeah, so I think that today being March 9th, um, definitely a celebratory day, and yeah, we gotta keep growing and keep building. Every stream day is gonna be a different day. I do see myself continuing to do this. It's a bright future. I was talking to Mick the Pick earlier on the phone, and there's a lot that I'm seeing with how I think if you go back to day 5 or 10 or even 20, there's a lot that has been learned. There's a lot of breakthroughs there. So I appreciate people for hanging on and supporting. And as you know, guys who come back, I try to celebrate. You know, I celebrate them. Let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, so we got a little wall of fame going right now. So people have been really come back and checking in. So I do appreciate that. Today we started a little bit later than I wanted to, but you know, we'll we'll get better at that. I don't want to miss a chat if something's going to trigger me to talk about it. I don't care about speaking about no French Montana got the tapes though. But Mick the Pick says, nah, that's wild. Okay, Fantasy League. So Fantasy League, for people who don't know, I'm sure no one knows, but a lot of the guys that are in the chat, we grew up with each other, and Fantasy League was like I would say the premier league when we were teenagers to play in. A lot of fun, a lot of memories. So we all played basketball in that league. To a teacup. So this is even worse. This is my milk my milk for Santa cup. And I have the Taylor Port in the mug. Get back on the program. He told you he was making a mixtape. What's that? Whoa, that's the people, Bogues, that have come multiple days and, you know what I'm saying, gave some good energy. And as we grow, I don't want to forget. Not that I'm going real high, because I'm pretty sure all the positive energy that I'm here to spread, and I'm not willing to get into too much negative. I'm pretty sure that that's not a mainstream kind of thing. But I do want to remember the people who helped me to work on the confidence. I mean, the one thing that I don't struggle with being able to learn these tools. I did study media in college, so it's kind of second nature. The production stuff that I'm doing, it's just been a long time, and it's a new skill to run a whole production by yourself, a stream. So I do have goals of doing this bigger, not in a vertical format. I always talk about it. I would be able to do more things, share more stuff. And Bogues, to be honest with you, you really should subscribe, and here's why. If you're not already, the more I do this, the more creative vibes I get, and I actually have tapes. And those tapes, a lot of the tapes that I have are locked on disc. I have high 8 tapes, I don't know, or 8mm tapes. Those are two different formats. Well, they're really the same format. So 8mm tapes, and I also have mini DV tapes from when I was about, let's say 18, 19 years old. You're definitely in some of the tapes, but a lot of the stuff is locked in these tapes because I don't have transfer devices. So I've been working on getting those recently, and the more I stay on here and I get these vibes, the plan is to use whatever I have to my advantage. Holding on to my legacy. Oh my God. Get your ass back on the court and shut up. Break that cup now. Prince, we got a thug spell checker in the chat. So I back is probably not gonna work. Yep, Nike commercial. Yep, I'm pretty sure I got it. So we had a stream. Now that you guys are here, when I do the streams, I kind of keep a lot of the stuff on my desk. So I had found, not found, but I had opened up some basketball cards. So I had a stream where I was going through and I was just showing going the camera. I was just showing like different basketball cards from the era. Look at that Shaq right there. That shit's popping. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the things I've been doing. Tony Kukoc right there. It's fire. Ooh, Mace. Go New York. But show the Nike commercial. No, that's the problem, Mick the Pick. I have oh man, that's the God right there. Sean Kemp. That's the problem, is that I have like boxes of tapes and I can't my mini DV, and I'm learning about it now. Apparently You want that? Yeah, you could. I have a cup. I forgot you a Shaq fan. I got another one. I got a few Shaq cards, and it was a bunch of like Dwight Howard. Look at this one. Look at this. This one is fire. Triple threat. I haven't even gone through cards. It was just like this one bag that I had. I swear it was just like doubles. Um, so I just went through that real quick. But yeah, we were trying to figure out like what to do on the stream, and I've had some different ideas. I've gone through stuff and try to build stories off of them. Shadow Black says, hit me up on the Discord. I got a transfer device for those. You got a transfer device for high 8? Yeah, Mick the Pig, I can't wait to show the Nike commercial. I can't wait to show that. Everyone who's in the chat is in it, actually. Mick the Pig is my guy. We worked together for some years. I met him as an adult. Bogues thinks this is like he think we back on the block or something. He goes, yeah, we gotta talk fire. So I mean, True Story's my cousin. I collected basketball cards for a long time. And back then I still have a whole full collection from card 1 to whatever card is the last card of the 92-93 Flair collection. So if you have like good players that started in that year, rookie cards, and it's still in the box. It's in the same box that I bought in 1993, and I have it. So I'm glad I never had a fire in my house. Knock on wood. Growing up. Mr. Parrot Zero, what's up? How you doing, man? You all right? You good? So, yeah, just to follow up on what I was saying, it was more speaking to Bogues and True Story. The more I do this, the more I'm going back into my creative bag and just a lot of different things that I'm thinking about. I was holding on to a lot of the tapes that I had for just personal use. I'm sure True Story has tapes too. But I figured it would help to tell a broader story. Like recently I got lucky and I came across a mini DV. I don't know if you guys know mini DV because that's a little somewhat professional. It's more on the prosumer side, but that's what I work with when I got to college. And I got a gang of tapes that's mini DV, and so I have a deck now. But the problem is that the oils that's in the tape. If you have different tapes, so say you have like Panasonic, you have Sony. You have, what is it? TDK. Like we going back. You got Casio. Each tape, because they wanted to have their own proprietary use, the guidance was, and I'm just learning this now, the guidance was to use a proprietary oil. So if someone else has it, if you use two different types of tapes, it would mess up the actual heads in the deck or on the camera. So I didn't know this. So I have a camera. I have a mini DV camera and I have a mini DV deck. I wanted this deck for so long. Finally got it. Now I got to get a head cleaner, which they don't make anymore, but there are people who have it. So I'm on eBay now trying to get a head cleaner, to clean the heads so that I could get the footage off of the tapes finally, and then I'm gonna start filming with it. Oh man, you got tapes that Hold up. Let's read it. And keep that. He goes, mine got destroyed with a pipe. A pipe burst. Yeah, okay, true story. A pipe burst in my closet. That's hilarious. It's funny enough. You couldn't change the way you said that. Definitely got footage, but not basketball though. We was outside. Yeah, well, the old meaning of being outside, clearly. A head cleaner, yeah. I'm gonna get that head cleaner fixed though. Yeah, well, I talked to Youth on here about whether or not pause could be standardized like a game show. He didn't give me much, but I really wish I could come up with a format. No, trust me, I say pause more than youth. We speak enough, and he says that I say it too much. I say it for things I shouldn't say it, but I think it's a personal thing. I know what I'm saying when I say it. But yeah, man. So you guys made me ride out to an hour and a half, which is cool. If you got any lasting questions, I'll answer them. Other than that, I appreciate you guys coming. Feel free to come back. If you subscribe, you'll get the notification, if you do the bell thing. Youth says, gay. He's probably talking about Marvin Gaye. I don't know. Just put the E at the end. I think Marvin Gaye is spelled with an E. Is it? Let me check. That's one thing, though, when you start getting on here, you kind of got to be straight-faced. Yeah, Marvin Gaye spelled with an E. Thanks, Youth, for the Marvin Gaye comment. He's one of the greats. Tragically, you guys know how Marvin Gaye passed away? We'll end on that note. You know how he passed away? Folks, don't. Marvin, you guys don't know? You guys are probably Googling that right now. I tell you guys. Yeah, Bogues knows. Yeah, his father shot him. That's a tough one, man. But yeah, man. You've said hi. Does it say this say hi thing like when you just press that button or whatever? Because sometimes that's super annoying. But yeah, we're about to end the stream. I think it's only right because I don't have low energy, by the way. I could do this a lot longer, but I think it's a quality when you're able to really go back and forth, and you guys are having fun, so I don't take away from that. Oh no. All right, let's just do it. Tashika Clark, welcome to the chat. I met Tashika Clark, otherwise known as CJ. CJ, I feel like CJ is a troll. CJ, I want you to meet some of my troll friends that are in the chat, so be careful. But guys that are in the chat, CJ is a young person, so be as nice as you can be. But he's gonna troll you. Make that a topic in the future, because that's what. True story. Can you retype what topic you want me to? Oh, you talking about the Marvin Gaye? Georges Lynn. Hi, how are you doing? We were talking about love and not love in a lovely way. We were just talking about the world and the gap, the void that seems to be. Wow, I have not looked at this poll in a while. So I'll just read it off real quick. Sorry if I sound like a radio DJ, but that's the only way I know how to do this. Do you think the world is becoming more loving or divided? So in the lead, we have both at the same time. In second place, we have more divided with 27%. And in third place, we have Depends on Where You Look with 20%, and 7% we have More Loving. Yeah. Shout out to D. Oh, he plugged you in? Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I always talk about it, but you ain't really doing anything until somebody want to vouch it for you, you know? The stream is going to be fired. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Bogues. Yeah. So True Story was talking about Marvin Gaye. Yeah, I think the only thing okay, so I do think that I could take damn near any topic and find my angle on it. I think that's what I'm here for. Is to find my angle, because I tend to see things or put stuff in front of people that they may not be ready for. They're not thinking. I want to say that I come with like a different like piece. So I'll sit down and think about like what that topic means to me, and how I may have to do my research. But that's the other part. Like, people who learning how to stream is one thing, learning content creation is another. Because the people who stream, once they get a lot of people, it's easy for them to come in here and people just chill and hang out. They may do something, it may be entertaining, but it just becomes a culture and a routine. But when you really do think deep content, and you come with some facts, or you know what you're doing, that preparation takes time. So, but yeah, no, I like what you're saying. We'll see how we can make that work. Shadow Black, I don't know who you talking about. Don't do that to him. He's not. Oh, you talking about CJ? Oh, Jesus Christ. So, hey, the jokes come. So CJ says, like, the gap in Shadow Black's teeth. You gonna let him talk to you like that? Oh man, you guys are crazy. I don't even know why I repeated that. You caught me. But yeah, Bogues, why do you think if you're still here, why do you think the stream is gonna be fire? It's an energy thing. And George's Lynn, hopefully I said it right. Thanks for coming and stopping by. We don't get many females that stop by here, so you are definitely welcome. There's a lot of. I have spoken about sports. I have, but it's not. Sorry, let me just fit. So, George's Lynn, if you're still in here, like I said, we don't get many females, but everyone's welcome. I'm a man. You may think I mansplain, but hey, if you hang around, you'll get to understand the truth of what I'm saying, and you make your own opinion. But to you, God's gift, Bogues, yeah, I have spoken about sports, but I'm not really a sports guy. I don't watch. I'm aware of sports. I don't watch it. I struggle with the business of sports. It's not what it was, and that's not looking at it from like a being old perspective. I just look at different things in sports, and it kind of turns me off. Like the NBA, for instance, the NBA, they dominate the headlines all year round, and it's gonna start burning them, right? When you dominate the headlines and you always have a story to tell, eventually you're going to have to weigh the ups and the downs of that. We didn't get many negative stories. Like, you didn't hear much about Jason Kidd's domestic violence cases when we were young, right? They were there. You didn't hear about it. I mean, Jason Williams, not White Chocolate, but Jason Williams actually had a body, and we got through it. We got through it. He ain't making it in a rap song like Ray Lewis. Like, he actually had a body, and we got through it. So the NBA has, and not to say that is sports, but that would be my favorite sport that I used to watch. I know enough about it I like talking about my lived experience with sports, and the psychology behind sports, which may not be as entertaining for people, but that's okay for me. If you have a question though, I'm always, I think as a streamer, I'm dedicated to the chat and just at least giving a response back on how I feel about that. Recently, did not watch the Super Bowl, came on here and just see what the energy people are, giving back. So True Story says sports trash. Vegas took it over. Well, I warned you. I warned you years ago that sports would be trash, and baseball was the first for fantasy to come in. Football may be the big one, but it was baseball first. Basketball tried. And the moment that you had a person that was sitting next to you who was rooting for a player on both teams, the sport is going to be trash. Something's being taken away from fanship. Kid Next Door 33 says good morning. A little bit of a iPhone and okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's the other thing. I got to get used to that. Y'all language is just different. See, y'all could play the language game, but when you see somebody from my generation and you in their face, I would be careful with the language thing. Oh, I must be doing good things if I'm getting lag in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for helping if it's true. If it's not true, I've been on here enough to not be super triggered by having lag, or there's definitely a technical hurdle when you see things. Usually every time I stream, not tonight for whatever reason, but every time I stream, see, God's gift don't know what he's talking about. See, Bogues, he's saying that the stream is lagging. So the deal is that the stream could be lagging on that person's side because their internet. It could be lagging because of my internet. I have different metrics that I'm looking at, right? But sometimes you get trolls that come in and they do that to like get you off your square. And then also YouTube has their feedback that might be good or bad. It kind of tells you like the health of the stream. And sometimes they do give you alerts while you're on stream. So I see, just to give you guys full transparency, I see the bit rate that's being sent over to YouTube, and I see YouTube's acknowledgement that the stream is healthy. The only thing that YouTube doesn't really give me any feedback on is like if I mute my mic, which I have at some point, and I just be on here talking. But usually my mods, will hook me up and tell me. CJ, what are you talking about, man? Bogues said y'all should trash. Yeah, it bees like that. But you know what, Bogues? To that point, all of our stuff is trash. Like this internet in today's world is no better than like Verizon broadband from 01. Like I thought by the time we make it to 2026, we wouldn't need all these cords. I'm sitting here with a cord on my neck. This mic has a cord. The podcasts you watch, they all have cords. They have an XLR. Same thing that's plugged into my mic, right? Everything should just work. I remember watching a Shark Tank episode, and Mark Cuban wouldn't invest in this guy's idea because true story is funny. I'm actually bigging up Verizon. I'm saying that the Verizon broadband was state of the art. So you tell them that. Yeah, you just caught me off guard with that one. Yeah, I thought that where we are at this day and age, that you just wouldn't have any issues. So Mark Cuban is on Shark Tank, and a guy comes on and he has this idea where it's like it was a hands-free idea. You could tell that he took too long to make the idea because it was hands-free. It was like put on a jacket and put whatever device you want. You could connect any device to it. So say this was like 8 years ago, and Mark Cuban already knows the future. He's like, nah, we're not gonna, the future's wireless. Like, you're not gonna have that. And this is before the phone stopped the eighth of an inch port. If you guys know connectors, so that connector is the eighth of an inch. That's what it's called. The old headphone port. So phones stopped coming with that. So Mark Cuban didn't invest because he said that this guy was like living in the past or whatever. So you would just think that everything was going in this direction. Do you guys remember 2G, 3G? Like, you got 4G, you got 5G. It's like, at the end of the day, internet doesn't feel that fast. Now, the only thing I would say is that the download speeds are a lot higher. So, but also everything they make is larger in size, right? So if I'm sending 4K video, even 1080p, it's larger in size. So are you really seeing a difference? If I made a video in SD, I'm sure you guys know what SD is, right? What's SD, guys? Come on. You know what SD is. I'm doing that because, you know, I ain't no nerd or nothing. It is better than dial-up. You remember how long it would take to see, to get here? That joint would go one at a time. No, but that old DSL and the broadband in the DSL wasn't really bad. But hear what I'm saying, though, Bogues. If the information, so let's just talk, I'm going to talk technical for a second. So let's say like a packet size, right? If it's an image, if it's a video, if the video is larger, they do buffering, right? So buffering is the stream stays open and you get a chunk of it. So it just keeps sending a chunk. That's how the media players you'd always see the bar and you would see how far you've gotten and you can't really skip ahead. That's an old technology. Nothing's new about it. What's different is that one, it's a bigger size, pause. So on when it's being sent, it's going to take longer if it's a slower connection. But if it's a faster connection, it shouldn't take as long. But if you take an old connection in a smaller size, it's going to take the same amount of time as the bigger connection, pause, with a bigger size, double pause. So, make the pick. What are you talking about? What happened? Hear me out. What is version? Okay. Yeah, don't make the pick. Don't. We in these weird times, man. You can't. You breaking news or something? Don't tell me. We got to go to the bunker. So the point that I was making, Bogues, if you're still out there, is you may not even see the difference in the actual technology improving because we keep improving or enriching the packet size. We keep improving like 4K video. When I shoot 4K on the phone, if you see the megabyte difference with 4K and 1080p, it is crazy. It is crazy. I can't even take those videos off my phone because I don't have adequate storage to get those videos off. Make the pick. Said he was trying to figure out what happened to Marvin Gaye. Oh my God. That's hilarious. It's not hilarious, but it's hilarious. Yeah, so these are just the games that they play with us in industry. So I'm a person who kind of holds on to a phone like, long. I got a Pixel 9 right now. I hold on as long as I need to hold on. I'm not triggered by the latest and the greatest. Uh-oh. We got flags in the chat. Throw your flags up, man. I'm just scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss anything. I definitely seen CJ going off, but he's not usually talking to me. So I think, guys, tonight I think I earned a few subscribers. So that's always nice. We're at 160. We're doing this in real time. We don't really have a goal of subscribers, and I'm not out here begging. So, it is what it is. Watch out for some content. If I have had a conversation with you, I don't mind repeating it if you don't mind hearing it again. But I've been working on something. So let's see. True Story has a sibling. CJ, do you have a sibling? Do you have a brother or a sister? You're a black kid. They usually don't come in one, but don't clip me on that. Bogues has a sibling. Youth has a sibling. Yeah, Bugs, slow down on that, player. I don't even want 1K. See, like the thing is you gotta grow. You gotta grow. We said I'm a shower, not a grower. Now, you gotta pause. There's a balance that you have to have, and I've done a ton of research on this, not just in reading, but my observation over the years, just being curious. I'd rather have 10 engaged people than 1,000 subscribers that aren't engaged. Many of the people, I shouldn't say most because I don't know that. Many of the people that we watch, those are click farms. Those click and clip farms. I can't be any more consistent. When you swipe to any other stream, folks, I don't know a person that I've seen that's been on here for 35 straight days. So, Denroy F is still, I didn't know you were still here, Denroy F. Denroy F has a sibling. Thanks for reminding me what I was even saying. CJ, do you have a sibling? Mick the Pick has a sibling. So we all have siblings. So ironically, Shadow Black has a sibling. Ironically, my sister came to me. She also has a channel, and she's working on her content, and I'm helping her out. I'm a little bit ahead of her, and I have, obviously, my name is Darnell Just Talking, so I don't shut up. And she comes to me, and at least at those moments, she listens to me, which is tough when you have a big sister. Yeah, that'll be cool, Bogues. But again, if it don't happen, I ain't worried about it because we having a good time. So my sister came to me and wanted to do something that I've never seen before, which was sibling content, where we would talk about the dynamics of being siblings and growing up and what that looked like from our vantage point. And some of it is, heartfelt content. Some of it may be chaos, but we're just testing it out. So look out for that. Like I said, I not only stream, but I do make long form content. I make shorts, and I don't do it for this amazing, feedback. I would like to be monetized one day, but that's not why I'm actually here. I'm here to express my creativity. And in today's world, in 2026, I don't really see another place to do it. I don't see that the social media platforms are real tolerant. And there's a lot more that you're going to be exposed to by putting stuff on there. So YouTube is still kind of holding on for me. At least I don't use it as a social media platform. Some people may. But being on, putting my stuff on here it's kind of therapeutic for me. And what I was telling my sister on Friday when we did our recording is I went to school for this, and I would like to tell that story. We being me and True Story, and I think Shadow Black as well. But when we got out of school, it was at a really rough time in the world. And interestingly enough, we're in a similar rough time. I got out of school during a recession. So when I wanted to get into the field, you go to college. I happen to do a 2-year degree and a 4-year degree and study the same thing because that's what I wanted. The field was very close to being related to like media. I wanted to be a video editor at one point, and there was just no jobs. So I kind of moved on. So part of me being here is crawling back into, not having a boss. Well, I don't do the boss word, but not having someone directing me, not some company, saying I can't do something with my creativity, which happens all the time. Just without the governance, and just being who I am and sticking to my truth, and that, will propel me forward. And I can't do wrong by that. So if I have 50 people, and I have 50 people, and that's totally fine with me. And I hope that others will hear that. And I hope that they will be inspired by that and share their stories. Like, you guys, everyone in here that I know personally, all have stories. And the world would love to hear those stories. I think what stops you from telling your story, regardless of being, 40s plus, and I do believe you need more courage to put yourself out there the way I'm putting myself out here, within reason. There's a line there. But I think what stops you from putting yourself out there is everything about this has been tied into being monetized and the money that you're going to get back from it. And it's hard when you hear that all the time. Look at all of our children. Okay, so Shadow Black. Okay, so we have enough people that deal with children, have children. How many children do you know right now that want to be content creators? If somebody could ping in the chat, how many is content creation the top thing that people, kids, because that's who matters, the babies, what do they want to be right now? Shadow Black in the chat says, I said it once, I said it again. I'll say it the way it's supposed to be said. I said it once, I'll say it again. Me and you was doing it before there was a YouTube. Big facts. Absolutely. So no one paying in the chat, but I'll carry it. My children want to create content. Now I'll give you something that makes me different. My children watch me, and I have exposed them to things that have nothing to do with making money through content. My son recorded his first video on he did a Fortnite video. Well, one first of all, thanks for triggering me, True Story, because that's it's very easy for me to be triggered.
Sucker for love, sucker for love, sucker for love, baby.
But regardless of that, So True Story says it's the easiest thing in the kids' eyes. I don't think children look at things as easy. I think it is 100% qualified to the way we looked at being athletes, the way we looked at basketball and football, and if you were exposed to baseball, maybe baseball, not so much soccer because we didn't have that foundation built yet. But I don't think it's, and this is just me, I don't think it's because it's easy. I think it's because it is the most important thing that the energy is there. See, like when we were, so if I'm 10, Mike is already going towards his third ring, right? If I'm 10. And so I get the benefit of being around for a three-peat. And it's the most exciting thing in my neighborhood. The uncles, the elders, they all reflect. You hear stories about the kids that have made $1 million. It's not because it's easy. If you are aware of Ryan is a very famous, I wouldn't even call him a content creator, because his parents actually did the same kind of thing what they used to do with child actors. He's Hawaiian. You can go look him. In fact, I'll just pull him up because I think I'm cool with my little clicks and all that. I don't even know this guy's name. It's Ryan. I'll just put Ryan from YouTube. All right, I got it. Okay. So Ryan's World is a massively popular children's YouTube channel launched in 2015. Over 37 million subscribers and 61 billion views. He generates over $25 million through toys. It's toys at Walmart. His sisters have their twins. They have their own channel now. Parents have a channel. He has a side channel. What's it called? Combo Panda. Combo Panda has a channel. So what's missing here is what your comment is, that the kids grew up on this the same way that we grew up on Ninja Turtles and wrestling. How many people have you DDT'd? Bogues, how many times you, well, it's a big show. How many people have you DDT'd? Because that's what we grew up on, right? So these kids, I'll just say my middle child, which is not 10 yet. Bogues just put a lot, and that a lot is not 21 Savage. That Bogues is saying that he got some DDTs under his belt. So I put a bunch of people in the sharpshooter and the figure 4 leg lock. I was just watching Nathaniel on I think I went on Facebook to go to Marketplace. He was doing he was on a mic at a basketball game. That was cool. But yeah, so that's what we grew up on, right? So the difference is that there was no reflection of a kid. Oh yeah, I absolutely. I mean, we all wrestled, right? It was a thing, bro. Like, that was a thing. And that's the point that I'm making. The thing to the kids that I saw grow in my house and all their cousins and the cousin's cousin, it was, so now we're in a Fortnite phase, as far as video games. Fortnite, Rocket League, even though they're not first generation of this, they all grew up on Ryan. If you're under 13, you grew up on the Frozen movie. But They grew up on Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast to them, I remember watching the last Jake Paul fight. And so my kids love watching the they don't understand it, but Netflix does a great, it's a great show. And we're watching it. I love to see if they could stay up. It's like for them, it's that breaking, that I don't know if you guys say it as breaking night or breaking day. I say breaking day, right? So it's a breaking day moment for them because you just never know how long, when that fight is going to start. And usually there are one or two good undercards. So I'm watching that and they think like, oh, this must be the fight, because they can't recognize who's fighting anyway. I'm like, no, it's just the undercard. Guys just fought well. So when they finally made it to the main event, they recognized no one but Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast was in the front row. The Apollo for us to break. Yeah, you watched that Saturday night at the Apollo. Right. So Mr. Beast was in the front row and the kids, their face just lit up. So to your point, true story, they understand something about Mr. Beast. Now, what has Mr. Beast done to get in front of them? Mr. Beast has a chocolate bar, right? He has all these other, I don't call them gimmicks, but I don't mean it in a bad way. But he has these smart marketing ideas to get in front of people. And it's actually marketing to children because children know that their parents don't make bread. Most of us, right? So the parents don't make bread. The people they watch, whether they rent B&Bs, the children don't understand that. So everything looks over the top. When I go to Legoland in New York, they don't think that it's the same place that Ryan went to. Ryan went to Legoland. Oh my God, it's just so amazing because they don't understand how these things are cut and they make it look. So, but they grew up on Ryan. Not only did they grow up on Ryan, but the first one grew up on Ryan. And then when the first one is starting to let go, the second one's reinforcing it. And then the cousin's reinforcing that. We've had those same things. We had He-Man. We had the same things. The difference is that you find me the person who made money off of the things that we were interested in. You can do basketball cards. You're gonna make a little, anywhere from $5 to $20 a day. Ryan just sold. I just showed you. I'll cut back to it. All of us in here. Why can't we talk to Ryan? 25 annually. He makes $25 million. His toys annually. Actually, sorry. Let me. I didn't know it was. I didn't know it wasn't big enough. Hold on. Pause. Ooh, that was a major pause. That was like explicitly pause. Look at this line. With a net worth exceeding $100 million. Why the heck am I thinking about playing a sport when Ryan has a net worth of $100 million and he's a kid? I've watched hundreds of his videos. I've watched him play video games. I've watched him play with his mom, and they set up the same stuff that we used to do. They set up a camp in the house. And he is entertaining them. But let's understand what's actually happening. So, since you probably don't know, I'll put you on. The parents obviously are the fuel behind this. The mom, she's known for having some shoplifting charges prior to the fame. So things weren't going so well because she needed to get something out of that store. And she got caught, which is even worse, right? Dad looks pretty smart. And I'm sure they came together, and once they realized it was working, timing is everything. This is I call this the post Chocolate Rain era. Yeah, I got to get that audio snippet of Chocolate Rain. But this is the post Chocolate Rain era. I say that because I think his name is Tay Sunday. He was making like $20 million. He was like one of the first big YouTubers to be monetized and make like that much money. And we're in that era. So everything feeds off of the fact that, oh, this is real. Like, we go to work to collect our paycheck and make six figures or just about six figures, and we work our butts off for it. And Tay Sunday sings Chocolate Rain, and we don't even know culturally what this guy is into, but we know we can't stop watching Chocolate Rain. It's hilarious. I don't know if I'm laughing at him, with him, whatever. And the man takes home $20 million, right? So now you go a couple years into the future. Ryan's parents understood the timing. It was monetized. If you don't know the term, the CPMs were high, right? So CPMs, cost per million, right? Which actually I think is the cost per 1,000 views. It's an old marketing term. So you get a CPM deal. Let's say it is cost per 1,000 views. You get a dollar amount every time you cross those 1,000 views, but everybody's dollar amount is different. Some people have a high CPM, some people have a low CPM. So everyone's not equal here. Some categories have a higher CPM, some lower. So, obviously it all adds up to money, but you're a parent, your kid is killing it online. Kids are not even supposed to my daughter tells me she can't even make a video because if I list her real age, she's not supposed to post like videos. I don't know if that really that's the rule, but the parents are involved, man. The parents are involved, and they made the play, and then they quit their job. How is that any different than the child actors who the parents became the manager? It's the same thing. The difference is that the money is in our face, and they could make it at an early age, or can they? Right? So I just don't think it's realistic that we lose all these kids to wanting to make content. Well, it only takes two things to happen, and I'll stop rambling. The chat ain't popping anymore, so that means that I went off the wall here. But I love to give the game that I have. That is what Darnell Just Talking is. He just talking. But yeah, so two things that could happen. YouTube can reduce your CPMs. Oh, sorry. Three things. YouTube could reduce the contract of your CPM. Say you're making $2 a CPM. Well, they could negotiate and bring that down to 50 cents. That's one thing that could happen. So if you tell your kid, no, you're going to make it, you're going to be a content creator, that's a primary plan. Just like we were thinking that we were going to be basketball players. I was working on this app, and within the app, I had to get every basketball player who's ever played in the NBA. Ever. I had to get a name of every person who's ever played, and I found this site that I could crawl, and I was able to crawl every person who ever played in the NBA. It was less than 6,000 people. It was less than six. I'm sorry, my lisp is going crazy because when I get into this, I'm gonna just pause this early, but my tongue be. I ain't used to talking as much because I work from home for a living, so it is what it is. 6,000 people, less than that, have played in the NBA all time. If someone told you that when you were young, if you were a kid, it would click and say, this is probably not gonna happen. When did it click for you? Right? It clicked for me. I think I was, well, when I wasn't on my high school team, it kind of clicked for me, right? I don't see where there's this path, there's this boat that's going to come pick me up. At the time, I had I live on a block with one building, and we had a little hoop on the side of it. I could go to the park, but we also had like a hoop that's on the side of it. So I would sit there and be shooting around and think to myself that one day, this is how they got you. One day a scout is just going to drive past here and they going to see me killing it on this hoop on this one block. They just going to happen. And it's a one-way street. It ain't even a two-way street. So they going to just see me on this hoop and I'm going to be one of the 6,000. Okay, so we're in one thing that could happen. YouTube says we're going to reduce the CPMs. We're only going to give high CPMs to people who already have clout. Joe Buttons, the anyone who already has clout who wants to come back in the game. Youth, he loves the Fat Joe and Jada. So they'll get the clout, right? I'm sure it's worse in skating. I'm sure it's way worse in skating. At least in skating, you don't have the same sponsorship structure. So you can be like local, regional, and still make something of a living. Basketball is frowned upon if you have not made it to the pros. Like I play D3. Every time I say it and then I think, damn, you whack, because I wasn't D1, right? And it's this thing. I know how hard I work. I know the level I was at. We played D1 schools. I understand the level. It's hard, playing a sport and going in there and if you could finish a season and that's hard in itself. So I hear you with the skating. The basketball is just out there. 6,000 people all time. This is the national league at this point. They don't make more money individually, but it's known as an easy bag because if you play baseball, you got to play 162 games a year to earn that money. That's damn near half the year. If you play football, you don't got guaranteed contracts and your body is up for grabs. Basketball, you do the Allen Houston thing. You sign a $100 million contract for 7 years and you play a few of them and you still get paid. You always thought Tony, when you said Tony, I was thinking, yeah, Tony Hawk, right? Yeah, we all play Tony Hawk too. That's my game. Yeah, he thought it was about to sponsor you. No, see, you're an open mind soul, McThePick. The G League, unless it's a friend of yours, the G League is not. They don't get the respect that they deserve. Actually, that's on Friday. That's where I was at, the Westchester County Center. That's where the Knicks play, the G League Knicks team. Yeah, Ice Cube's. We need to do a whole episode on that because I was really deep into Ice Cube's Big Three, but that didn't really work out the way I thought it would. I think it's kind of gimmicky now. I think it could do a lot better job. And Bogues, if you're still out there, I have some pretty strong, again, from the business of sports, I have some pretty strong beliefs and content around that. So I don't know if that'll play it. play itself out. I just never really thought. I'm kind of just going with the flow as long as I'm not morally, taking a step back. But yeah, so let me finish this whole YouTube thing. I'll still be reading the chat. Been doing a good job of that. It has been 2 hours and 20 minutes, guys. It's the longest stream I've done. We got 17 votes though. I'll read off both, at some point. But so YouTube could lower the CPMs. Is it likely? Absolutely. Because they don't owe you anything, right? This is where I want to be a content creator only holds up if there's a government that's guaranteeing. It's like there's no FDIC insured content creation platform. What are we doing? Dinroy F said, I gotta go to work tomorrow, man. Stop. Dinroy F, go create some content and then you'll be able to make the bag. Isn't that what all the kids are doing? Thanks, Mick the Pig, W Stream. So is it likely that YouTube could turn around and say, you know what? Oh, here's the other thing. And they have done this, right? Because everyone has their own personal agreement with YouTube. What if they say people who stream 2026 and on, people who become monetized, because you have to apply for the YouTube partnership, people who become monetized they don't have the legacy deal, so they get a very low percentage until they can prove themselves. So you're still monetized, but you're not gonna make a lot of money even if you get a very popular video. Thinking about another camera for you? Well, I've done a 2-camera setup. If you're talking about for me, that was an interesting stream. But yeah, I would say Dinroy F. I would say work with what you got. I've not spent any money on this endeavor at all. I've been working with what I have, and every time I look, I have something else that works. And I've played games on here. We've had a lot of fun so far. So I don't think a new camera, especially in this day and age where, I mean, we're on 1080p right now. Not even we're in worse than 1080p. We're on the portrait mode of 1080p, not even landscape, right? Okay, so what can YouTube and what can the second thing that could destroy content creation? YouTube, and hear me out on this one, YouTube could just not play ads on your videos. This is not there. They do not have to guarantee you. The partnership program is masking as it's like an affiliate link program. So in an affiliate link program, you go send your link, when people ask you to buy stuff and it's on Amazon, their code is in the link and they get a percentage based on that. That's generally all this is, right? But in the case of YouTube, you don't get paid until you actually have an ad that plays on a monetized video. So here's the layers there. Every video can't be monetized. I've gotten copyright claims for playing 5-second clips. We did a fun stream 2 weeks ago where we start talking about nostalgic things from our childhood, and I played The Nation of Domination. And I got a copyright claim. And it says, the video can't play in certain territories, and potentially when you get monetized, this video won't, it might be an issue. Might be, right? So all they have to do is just not play not put ads on your videos, the video that you can monetize. And if there's a problem with that video, they could play ads on it and you won't be monetized, because at the moment that video was up, you were not allowed to be monetized. You weren't in compliance. And number 3, they just stop the program. They find a new revenue stream. We're already moving in. One of my favorite creators, he started the membership program, and he was against it. He made a video about it. Very verbose creator. I would say I look up to him as a creator. He shares a little bit more than I would personally, but he does talk about the process and how hard it is and what he does to get over the hump. So he was saying how what he does is he's been avoiding his partnership, the members, when you have members that pay. So he gives a disclaimer, which was hilarious. He goes, well, I'm going to do the program. I mean, he's been talking about it ever since the program's been out. Like, he's not doing it. That's not for him. You do what's for you. He's fine. So he said he's going to do it. He said, but don't expect anything different from me. So he's basically saying he's not going to be, jumping out the window. He's not going to be doing goofy stuff, which is commendable. But can you imagine if creators are dependent on the good old subscription model? What is the need for the ad revenue? Because the subscription model, YouTube is making a bag. Why would they have to keep paying you for ads if you can bring in people yourself that want to follow you? And we culturally have a habit of just opening this app because we don't use any other apps. Why would that be hard to think of? They just stopped the partnership program. Look, I'll wrap it up here. I say all that to say, it's a dangerous game that we're playing, and I think there's some human behaviors that instinctively will come back around, and hopefully they won't have to be tied into being monetized, which is probably the reason why they aren't super popular for people right now, like playing instruments. We learn instruments today, if you have the privilege, through schools. Can you imagine if you learn instruments at home as a rites of passage and you don't need a school? School just helps you to facilitate, just like reading. You don't learn to read in school. You learn to read at home, and school facilitates that. And that is one of the ways that we could curve a lot of the things that we don't agree with what's going on in technology. And it can help to bring the topic back, it can help to bring more love into our space, because those things speak to our psyche. But that's it, man. This was an amazing stream. Again, 2 out of the last 3 days. If a stream felt like that, I could do this forever. This is nothing. But thanks for hanging on with me. I'll just read off the poll before we get out of here, and I'll hang out in the chat for a little bit, but I'll just play my videos the way I walk out every time. Thanks for whoever's here still hanging out, and thanks for the new people and the returners to come back and chill. I hope you guys didn't feel overpowered by the new people to come in the chat. But either way, it's my responsibility to manage that and navigate and get over. And I think I did an A+ job of that tonight. I'm used to one person coming in. I had a cousin from down south one time come in. I had one of my best friends who I don't see much, but I speak of him often, and he just came in here. I'm used to like a 1. I'm not used to like a Hadou kick, like tak dude of many. So I think I did a good job of that. All right, so the poll reads, do you think the world is becoming more loving or more divided? With 41%, we have both at the same time. With 29%, we have more divided. With 24%, we have depends on where you look. And with 6%, the people who are holding out with 6%. I love that. Make the Pick is closing us out, saying it's been an awesome stream, my man. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I couldn't do it without you, brother. Just to get to this point, we'll have a dedication to Make the Pick. I'm back. Had to post some new vids. I'll check you out, CJ. I'm about to sign off on here. Make the Pick. I gotta have we'll do like an appreciation night. I think, and anytime you want to come on audio, that's cool as well. But I think from my vantage point, there is a long origin story to how I got here, and you are probably an interesting stop, because I was trying to understand and learn a lot of things, and though I was helping out on one side, like career-wise, you were helping me to even understand what, younger folks, how they were looking at it and how they were using it. Yeah, I gotta jump too, man. I'm bugging, but yeah, thanks guys. It's been real. So we going out today with a shout out to Biggie. Peace.